I was given the amazing privilege of DJing at Amnesia alongside Paul Anderson, Alex P and Alfredo. Aspects of it I don't remember anything about, which was ironic. I suddenly came to the conclusion that that must be why it's called Amnesia. And it's got this history in the building from Tony Pikes and everything that he brought to running that place.
And it's for an older crowd as well.
All the shenanigans that have gone on behind closed doors and out in the opening, it's still a very, very naughty place.
Hello and welcome to the Ibiza Hall of Fame with myself, Clara and Big Al. From the heart of London's underground to dance floors of Ibiza, our next guest has been the driving force of electronic dance music for decades. Please welcome Bushwacka into the Ibiza Hall of Fame.
My friend Matthew. You're right, mate.
Alan, long time no see.
Yeah, I've been about, but we've all got different paths these days, haven't we?
We have, but it's so lovely to see you.
I remember you as a young boy, but very early on the scene.
The hazy days, the 80s.
We're all still here,
we're still here.
Still doing it,
still smiling.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And you're living on this beautiful island of Ibiza now these days.
Living in Ibiza now. I moved here in 2013, and I was here for 6 years. Then I went back to the UK for a while and still stayed very much connected with the island. I've got a little place in town, but then I moved back full-time 2 years ago and no intentions of leaving.
No, I don't blame you, mate. It's paradise, so why would you want to leave?
And do you remember your first year in Ibiza?
My first year in Ibiza? I certainly remember my first trip to Ibiza, bits of it, yeah. Actually, it was very unexpected. I was at a bar that we all used to go to in West London, in Ealing, called Haven Stables. I think it was a Sunday night, and a friend of ours, Carl, who I used to DJ for.
I was doing it with Carl at the time, yeah.
Said to me, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Oh, nothing much." He said, "Go and get your passport and pack your bags, you're coming to Ibiza, and bring your records." Okay. The year before, quite a few of my friends who were a little bit older than me, because I was only 17, had already been to Ibiza, and they'd come back and said, "Oh, this is the best place in the world, we've got to go, it's amazing." And I said, "Okay, sure." And then this happened. Next thing I knew, I was at the airport with the guys and flying out to Ibiza. Was there for a few days. Wasn't there for a whole summer. I wasn't there for a year, but a lot happened in those few days.
So what happened in those days? Do you remember any of it?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that happened was I was given the amazing privilege of DJing at Amnesia alongside Paul Anderson, Alex P and Alfredo. And at that time, there was no roof on the club, so the terrace was a terrace under the stars. And yeah, I found myself with these guys, and Paul Anderson, an amazing DJ, he's sadly passed away some time ago now, was a lot older than me and a lot more experienced, and Alex also older and had more experience. And so I was really this sort of young kid that had been sort of picked up and brought out, and I found myself playing in this club, and it was incredible. There were aspects of it I don't remember anything about, which was ironic, because when I did get back to the UK, I suddenly came to the conclusion that that must be why it's called Amnesia, because when you go there you end up forgetting everything. But there are aspects of it that I remember very well, and the trip and hanging out with the guys, and just the hedonism. Absolute hedonism.
Yeah, this island, I mean, it's been crazy, isn't it? It's a crazy ride.
Really crazy, but 2 days after the gig, because we've been to some other parties as well, I've been to Pasha, I've been to Coup, it was called back then, not even Privilege. I got told that the then manager or owner of Amnesia wanted me to become a resident DJ there, and offered me a residency. And I actually said no. I was petrified after my first few days in Ibiza as a 17-year-old, but also was very keen on making my foundations in London, and that's where I lived and my family, and I was still a boy really, so I turned it down and they gave it to Alex. and Alex became the resident there for a year before Space.
Didn't hurt your career at all, though, did it?
Didn't hurt the career, no. But it was an interesting series of events that all happened in the space of a couple of nights, you know. And I've never really looked back from then onwards. I knew that this place was going to be part of my life from that very first trip.
So one of the questions we ask, and it's to do with what you're talking about, is the magic of this island. I mean, is it spiritual for you, or is it a bit of everything?
Feeling.
It is a spiritual place, and within the island itself, there are certain. You know, obviously, my first trip was a very long time ago, but you know, living here at the age I'm at now, and in the decade we're in now, there are certain places where I really feel it, and where I go to either relax or recharge, or to feel more invigorated. And there are certain places that I also stay away from now for similar reasons, but at the other end of the spectrum. But there is an allure and a pull to the island. I don't know exactly, of course, how it would be for 21-year-olds now, 18-year-old, 21-year-olds now, in that same respect, because many things have changed in culture and society, and the impact of social media and the way that we connect with each other. But the nature and the power of the nature itself, as well as the party scene, always really dragged me back, or stopped me leaving as well. I found it very, very difficult to leave. And eventually I got to the point where I realised that one day I was just going to get a one-way ticket and not bother buying a return, because I've missed so many flights.
The answer to your question is these young ones are coming over here now. It will bite some of them as well. That's the answer, because it's over the generations. It bit me. It drags me back here. You know, I thought I retired years ago. I'm back doing something what I love on this beautiful island, and it happened to you. And it'll be happening to them as well.
Happens to a lot of people. Luckily, it doesn't happen to everyone. Otherwise, there'd be no room. But it does happen to a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful island, and it's just got something that nowhere else has got.
It really does. And the season's a lot longer now than it was in the beginning.
I've said for years, why isn't the season longer? You know, when we did that, 16, 17 week season, I said to the clubs and everyone, should be doing it longer. You know, start earlier, finish later. They've finally done it. And it's a longer season now.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think as well, because times have changed, like politically, obviously back in the 90s and 2000s, it's very easy for a British person to come over here and find work, whereas nowadays
it's changed, isn't it?
It's very difficult.
Actually, saying that, back in the 90s, we had to get residency to work here if you were staying on the island legally. So it's no different from it was really at the beginning. It's gone back to that, hasn't it? Yeah, so we ask a series of questions, and one of the questions that we ask is, who's your favourite DJ?
Oh, I don't have one favourite DJ. When I think about my clubbing experiences here in Ibiza, I'm a big Sven Vath fan, and I used to go to Cocoon every Monday at Amnesia and listen to Sven and Richie Hawtin, who, obviously the top techno DJs, and such a different sound from each other, but they complemented each other so well. And I still go and listen to Sven now. I mean, he still does things here regularly, and if there's one DJ that I'll go and listen to for a few hours or several hours, it's probably going to be Sven. And he's such a traditional DJ in one sense that he doesn't use any effects. He still plays vinyl. He just plays one record after another. But there's something about his aura, there's something about his music, and something about his presence that just creates a very unique sound. And then with Richie's very technical, uses a lot of cutting edge technology, and the way that he puts sounds together to create new tracks live is very unique as well. So for me, if I'm going out and I want to go and listen to some music, it's usually them. Saying that, I also really enjoy people like DJ Harvey that I used to go and check out.
A lot of people
Pikes.
are saying Harvey.
Yeah, I've had the odd night in there where, and it's a bit of a weird one, because he kind of can get away with things that no one else could get away with to a certain extent, and a lot of what he would be playing would be more like 110 BPM sort of rock.
Is he more on the Balearic tip?
Kind of, yeah, but I know he can like bang it out as well. So I had a few good nights with Harvey. And Carl Cox is one of my best mates in the DJ world. I used to play a lot with him at Space anyway, but I still go and see him at his new night at Universe because he is a close friend. And
He's still Carl Cox, isn't he?
I mean, he's the Don, so it's not what I would listen to if someone else was playing it necessarily. For me, that's more of a family connection.
Yeah, no, I mean, this industry is quite close-knit. We're all sort of a little bit connected with everyone, aren't we? There's we did that together, or there's lots of crossover, isn't there? So it's a big family.
Absolutely. I mean, Alfredo sadly passed away not so long ago, but I was a really big fan of his style and how versatile and diverse he was.
I mean, even me and you, we haven't seen each other for a very long time, but the very early days, I remember you as a young man, with Carl and myself, and we're all connected, aren't we, in some way?
Very connected, and Carl, who I'm still friends with today, when he was at his heyday with the Crazy Club stuff. I had 4 weekly residencies in London, not including doing any other gigs outside of the residencies. And it was, Busby's on a Friday night, Astoria on a Saturday night, Busby's on a Sunday morning, Limelight on a Sunday night. And I had a residency at the Park in Kensington High Street. And it was just like, but Carl, I mean, thank you so much, but he gave me so many opportunities to play with all these guys that were like a bit older than me.
The story with Carl is me and Carl were partners for many years, Carl Pearsall, and I decided I wanted to come to Ibiza, and we split company at that point, and we were doing a club in London called Club Craze, Crazy Larry's, and I said to Carl, I've got to go to Ibiza. He was calling me, I had to go, so I went. He moved from there to Astoria and called it Club Craze. He turned it around, and the rest is history. Yeah. And I came out and did what I did, which was amazing as well. So
yeah, well, and there were other partners, and one ended up in Milton Keynes, and the other one ended up in Ibiza as well. And so I mean, everybody had their own journey, had their own path.
Lots of, but all connected.
And I became very close with Alex and James as well. Alex P. We'd end up back at Carl's flat. I think it was in Maida Vale, or Kensington or Chelsea, usually having an after hours after one of the many clubs he was putting on.
I think Carl's going to enjoy this episode. Yeah. He actually is a big supporter of what we're doing. I spoke to him, obviously we're still good friends.
He's the first person that told me about it, actually.
Yeah, that's nice, that's nice. I mean, he was supportive from the very beginning. He thought it was a brilliant idea, and so I think he's going to enjoy this particular episode.
Well, I've got a lot to thank him for, and we're still friends today, and had a little lunch with him last time I was in London about 1.5 years ago, and we still connect fairly regularly, and he's reached out to me at some trickier times and just checked in and reached out and said, are you okay? I've seen that this has happened or that might have happened, and just wanted to make sure you're all right.
No, of course, Carl's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's you can trust Carl, can't you?
And thinking back to the career that you've had on the islands, who would you say has influenced you the most?
Well, in a good way or in a bad way?
Just differently, I mean,
in general, in a good way.
Give you an example. My number one person was Brasilio. He gave me my chance on the island.
I mean, outside of a club itself or whoever might have been running it, but I was very, very close friends with a guy called Lewis, who was like my brother from another mother for many years, and I'd hang out with him every single time I came to Ibiza.
Lewis Pennington?
Yeah.
I see Lewis recently.
And he was a big inspiration to me back then, just in terms of his energy, his personality, and the way that he could be so social and bring people together, and his humour, and it really inspired me, and I never felt I was really anywhere even near the way that he could be and was in social environments, but for a long time I found him very, very inspiring, and we had so many adventures on this island, and off the island, but so many on this island together. We really were like brothers.
He's in Brazil now, isn't he?
I'm not sure, but he was a big inspiration on me, and everybody knew Lewis on the island. He knew everybody knew him. He was one of the people that would make the party and bring the party. So he inspired me a lot. I think that in terms of the gigs and the clubs, well, I used to play a lot at Space, and I used to play on Sundays.
The famous Sunday night.
Sometimes on my own, but often with Layo for We Love on the Sundays, and had some amazing times in there. And I wouldn't say that the club itself was my inspiration, but I definitely had some nights in there that musically gave me an opportunity to really express myself. There was one time when we'd been booked to play inside in the discotheque, and Derek Carter had missed his flight, and we ended up playing for 10 or 11 hours, and that was when we were playing vinyl back then, and just got so in the zone. And it was like, I can't remember anything about it, but I can remember everything about it, if you know what I mean. It was like, I can't pinpoint any one part of that night other than coming out at the other end of it and thinking that was just like off the chain. So that was a really cool experience to do that. But DC10 had a massive influence on me as an institution. I used to go there religiously. I mean, we'd do Space on a Sunday, back to Lewis's place after Space, regroup, and then rock up at DC10 on a Monday morning, when it used to open at 6 a.m. and then shut at night time, and that was a very different period of time. I just used to go there as a raver and properly
enjoy yourself.
Time of my life, and along with everybody else. It was scary. Just getting ready to go there was so exciting. It was almost scary. It was like, oh my God, is it open yet? Are we going to go now? What time are we going? What time are they going to open the doors to the terrace? You know, it was, when it first opened, it was like you only went to the toilet if you were really, really desperate, because the toilet was just like a black hole, like a cave with water dripping from the ceiling and very strange people lurking around in the corners. It was like last resort, you don't go in there, you know. It was a mad place. But then when they finally booked me, they gave me the opening, their birthday and the closing, just as Bushwacka on the first season that I played for them. And so I kind of went straight from never doing it and just going there to like
getting the prime nights,
doing their main sort of guest DJ slots. And I had some amazing times in there playing. It was, what was weird about it, or what was so different about it back then, was that, you know, like when the crowd react to like a drum roll or a big build up, and like that's the bit where everybody seems to go mad. Like generally there, people would go mad to the bit of the track that no one else would go mad to in any other club. So it'd be just like the track's playing along, nothing really has happened, and maybe a little hi-hat comes in or something, and suddenly everyone's going nuts. So in terms of playing your set and tuning into what you're going to play, it just turned everything on its head. So I'd be like, whatever I'm doing in those other clubs isn't necessarily going to work in here, because people react differently. And so it was a really, really unique experience. And back then the DJs were like begging to play in there. Like Danny Teneglia was begging them to let him play in there, Eric Murillo, and I felt very honoured. And you know, I played with them for a good few years before that came to an end, you know. But as an institution on the island, I mean, it was a lot of people's church. It was a lot of people's place of worship, you know. That was it.
I mean, this music industry has been like a bit of a religion, hasn't it?
Very much so, very much so. And it is, and you know, you're either totally devoted to it, or if you are going to like walk away from it and not be in it anymore, you still need to have really made peace with that and be okay with your decisions, and not feel, I think, like you've walked away because you can't be part of it anymore, or because it's not accepting of you anymore, you know. So it is a religion for a lot of people.
I thought I retired a long time ago, but I'm back. You sort of think that's over, that part of your life, but it keeps drawing me back in. I can't help myself.
I think having a sabbatical or taking a sabbatical is perfectly acceptable, and you know, there's no authority that says you have to do this forever. But again, it's about being at peace with your decision. If you've decided to like step out and step away, you know, if you're at peace with that, that's okay. And then if you decide you want to come back in again and get involved again, that's okay too.
You listen, I just go with the way I feel, and that's it's always worked for me, so it's a good thing for me.
I mean, there was a time when I thought I was going to like phase it out, and I did a master's degree in psychotherapy in 2018 over a period of 4 years, and I'm still practicing now. I mean, that's my...
Is that to help you on your journey, sort of thing?
That's my other work, and there was a time when I thought, well, you know, I'll be doing that and I'll be phasing this out. But actually, you know, I'm still completely in love with music. Like, I say no to a lot of work now in terms of gigs and travelling and clubs, and I'm very happy with that. And often I'd rather do less gigs and have more downtime, but choose the ones that I really like and that are really good. But again, it's like I haven't retired. I don't intend to retire from it.
You haven't fell out with music.
Maybe when I'm a bit older and I decide I don't want to be on the road anymore, that's another thing. But why would I stop playing music?
No, but it's your love. You haven't fell out with love with the music. You still love the music. You're just doing a little less.
Yeah, and even at times when I do think, this music isn't really doing anything for me anymore at this moment in time, a couple of weeks later that can change again.
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, it does. So let's ask you a few quick fire questions. Where's your favourite beach? Where do you like to go on this island?
I like to go to a beach called, it used to be a secret, I guess it doesn't matter anymore because like lots of people know about it, but there's a beach not far from here actually called Cala Oliveira, and it's in between Cala Longa and Jesus, and it's in the Rocalisa area, and for me that's a proper recharge. It's just quite a small bay, the water is incredible there, it's at the bottom of a glade of pine trees, you have to be a little bit dedicated to get there. It's like a 5-10 minute drive down a dirt road.
A lot of the good ones are difficult, aren't they?
Yeah, even when it's busy there, it's it can be hard to find your little square foot of, I would say sand, but sometimes it's rock or seaweed to sit on, but it seems to be never busy beyond the point of being able to actually get down there. And for me, since I moved here in 2013, that's the place I found myself gravitating back to the most, to just go and have a recharge, transform, jump in the sea, change my energy. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah, so we ask these questions because people viewing may never come here and they might try it, you see. That's why we ask this. So another one we ask is favourite restaurant?
Favourite restaurant? Oh, wow.
There's a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, there are a lot of restaurants here. I love Sacaletta.
Yeah, I know Sacaletta.
Sacaletta is quite close to Cala Jondal. It's the next turn off along, and that's actually been open every day except Christmas Day for 37 years, apart from a little gap in COVID. Like they lunch and dinner, and it's a seafood restaurant with a beautiful view and fantastic food, really. It's one of my favourites. In the marina, I like Trattoria de Mar. It's an Italian.
Italian in the marina, Butterfuck, yeah?
Right on Marina Butterfuck, yeah. That's been very consistent. There's lots. I mean, there used to be this Argentinian that I used to go to with friends, with Lewis all the time, which was on a busy road, at a set of traffic lights, on the road out of Figueretas Ibiza town, heading out towards San Jordi. They shut down several years ago, but that was fantastic. They do this entraña on the barbecue on the grill, which was just so delicious and cheap as chips. It was amazing.
Yeah, some of those places still exist. There's one in San Rafael, similar. It's an Argentinian barbecue. Yeah. Been there ever since I've been coming, and it hasn't changed in the slightest. Still great meat. Yeah, so there's lots of nice places to eat on this island. There's
also a place in Figueretas that my wife and I go to quite a lot called the Skinny Kitchen. I mean, it's not a skinny kitchen, it's just, normal food, but the really good quality lunch, brunch and breakfast, and delicious, right on the water. And yeah, that top recommendation if you've never been to Ibiza before and you want some good grub on the beach, but you don't want to spend a fortune, because there are a lot of places here that I think are probably quite overpriced. They can get away with it, but...
Well, it's Ibiza, isn't it? It's never been cheap on this island.
No, it's never been cheap, but if you're paying 25 euros for patatas bravas, it's a bit like, well, it's a potato. Why am I paying 25 euros for a potato? Come on, mate.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I mean, we ate last night in a lovely restaurant in Jesus, and typically Spanish, and Uli recommended it. Not overly expensive.
It's really reasonable. Yeah. It's like homemade Spanish cuisine.
I also used to love Bambuda Grove.
We all like a Thai.
Fantastic food up there and good energy.
And it's made a lovely ambience now, isn't it? It's a lovely ambience there.
Well, John was a real character, and his son who runs it now is a character too, and so they've kept it in the family, and yeah, it's still great.
So is John still around? Because I haven't seen John.
He bought a boat and went off sailing. I'm not sure if he's still doing that. He must be fairly old now to be doing that, but that's what he did after the restaurant. Yeah.
So his son's taken over. Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
And do you have any sort of really memorable moments or any stories that you want to tell?
There must be a lot.
About your time here on this island?
I mean, honestly, so many.
What ones really stand out?
The last 10 years I've had a residency at Pikes on their Saturday night, which is called Pikes House Party, and started off doing four or five one summer, and then it became 6 and then 7, and in my 10th year of that residency. But like when it's good, it's great. When it's really good, it's insane. And like it's such a small room. Freddy's itself, it's like a TARDIS. When the end of the night comes, because they close at 4, they're not open till 6 or 7. The end of the night comes and it empties out. I'm looking around, I'm like, where have all these people come from? This room looks like it only holds like 100 people, and 600 people have just walked out. Like, how's that even humanly possible? But sometimes the energy in there is so next level powerful, and because it's small and intimate and low ceiling, and it's got this history in the building from Tony Pikes and everything that he brought to running that place to, like, you know, it's called Freddie's because Freddie Mercury, and you know his history there, Grace Jones, George Michael, and like all the shenanigans that have gone on behind closed doors and out in the open in that place. It's the devil's playground in a way. It's still a very, very naughty place. It's an older crowd. You have to be at least 27 to get in. It's quite English. It depends what night you go there, but like everybody loves it. Dave Morales has got a residency there. Harvey, myself, like it's a favourite.
They've kept the basic way it is. They haven't changed it too much.
Not much.
They've tweaked it. They've tweaked it a bit.
But yeah, no, that I'm really passionate about that place. But you asking if I had any favourite moments? Like the reason I mention that is because when it's really good on a Saturday, when I do one and it's like I'm like pinching myself at the end. It's like I don't know if it's just like so good that the next time it's that good, it feels the same amount of good, or if it actually feels better. But sometimes I just think it can't get any better, and then it feels like it's got better.
I've got a feeling about what you're saying, and I think it's probably harking back to the early days of DJing when you're doing smaller clubs, like because you do all you guys do big stadiums and great big parties. Yeah. That's the old school of going back into a small room.
It's that, and it's also that when I've got a residency somewhere, I always take my work seriously and want to do the best job wherever I play, if it's a one-off or whatever. But with a residency, like I'm extra passionate about it, and I become like friendly with all the staff, and it becomes like family, it becomes home. And so like with that room, it's like that's my front room. That's where I'm most familiar with the setup, with the nuances, with you know how it can go. And what's funny about that room is sometimes before they put air conditioning in, which believe it or not they only put in a couple of years ago, it would get so hot in there, so people would go out just to get some air and then 5 minutes later come back, and I didn't know. So I'd be playing and suddenly like loads of people will have left the room, and I'd be like, oh, am I playing music? Like, what's happened?
It's just too hot.
5 minutes later, it's going absolutely mental again, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, intimacy, isn't it? It's a little bit more intimate, isn't it? That's what it is. Yeah.
So that, for me, is a very, very special place, and I feel blessed to have that going on. And, you know, look, the bigger places, they charge more money to get in. Pikes, you can't pay to get in, but you have to be on a guest list. You know, there are a lot of different dynamics about it.
And it's for an older crowd as well, is it?
It's for an older crowd as well, but you know, you can have the best of both worlds. You know, I can go and do that, and then I can go and do a bigger thing as well, and I like that. You know, it feels more personal.
Yeah.
No, that's very good.
And have you got anything coming up this season?
As well as that, which I'm unfortunately missed I had to cancel my gig at the opening of Pikes a couple of weeks ago because of shoulder surgery. I've got my residency there, but they've opened another venue called 528, which used to be the Zoo Project.
We were talking about it's a fantastic venue.
It's amazing, and their Tuesday night is called Pikes Presents, which was the talk of the island last year, and like they had Groove Armada and Basement Jacks and all sorts of people headlining the outdoor stage. And the outdoor stage, that shuts at like 11 p.m, and then there's a club that they've done up really nicely that's really dark and like it's got a proper underground vibe, and that stays open till 4 or 5. I'm doing a monthly residency there this summer on a Tuesday in the club, and then Layo and I are going to do the closing in October of the main stage, 528 as well. And then I've got a show at Akasha up north, up near Las Dalias as well, but not sure what date yet. I had to change the date. So that's most of the Ibiza things that I know about at the moment, and we'll just have to see what happens. Like, I do say no to a lot of things. Sometimes it's because I don't want to dilute what I'm already doing, and sometimes it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's nice to be in that position, Matthew, isn't it? You can say no to stuff. It's a great position to be in.
It's nice, and look, don't get me wrong, I would love to like be in a position where maybe like I had a weekly residency at one of the big clubs and I was making like ridiculous money and all of that, and it would be amazing. But the amount of pressure, and I've been DJing for 38 years now, and the amount of pressure that comes with that as well is a lot. And so I value my downtime now as much as I value a good gig. So it's not that I would say no to doing those things, but right now I'm like, okay, this is good, this is great. I want to focus on the recording studio, because I've just built this amazing Dolby Atmos studio at the Hub with the partners there.
I was going to ask you about, you're obviously doing it, still in the studio, still working.
In the studio, but this is also like being rented out. It's a commercial venture, so the guys are like, they've already got clients like little Louis Vega and Joseph Capiati and all sorts of people. I brought Carl Craig down there last summer, and Carl Cox has been in there. And yeah, I've spent a lot of money building this amazing space where the acoustics are incredible, and it's like a immersive audio surround sound space. So we can mix in Atmos, in immersive audio, we can work on film and TV and post-production as well as dance music.
Do you collaborate with some of these guys in the studio with them, or?
We'll be doing collaborations. I mean, it's literally just opened like a couple of months ago, so it's like being the birth of a new baby. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's always a new venture. It makes you excited again, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I'll do my music in there when it's not being rented out, and when it's being rented out, I'll take a back seat and let everybody enjoy the space. Yeah. Sharing is caring, right?
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. Also, what else do you love about this island?
Well, just touching on something personal, in 2015 I became clean and sober in August, and I've stayed that way ever since. And I was living in Ibiza for the 2 years leading up to that, and it was probably one of the most difficult times going through the whole addiction thing. And I've been trying to live a different lifestyle for quite a long time, and struggled with it. And so since August 2015, I've been on that journey, and my life's changed beyond comprehension. And I feel that to do that in Ibiza is a massive feat. As a DJ,
it must be the most difficult place in the world.
I don't want to say, well, no, but it's prolific. That people, I know a lot of people here. They know me as Bushwacka. They don't know me as Matthew. To be able to be here, where people may or may not know you've gone clean and sober, and be around all of that temptation and that old lifestyle, but just get clean and stay clean. And more than that, that's what inspired me to train as a psychotherapist and to start working in that space, and to use my experience in the music industry as a DJ and producer that's been at both ends of the spectrum with substances and addictions, and has gone from being a loony with no filter and no stop button to being able to be in any space, DC10, wherever it is, and stay clean and sober. And how I can tap into that, but not make it about me, but know that a lot of people that come and work with me for therapy, they have an awareness that I understand what they might be going through. When I was in therapy and I was trying to get clean, the thing that held me back was that I found it hard to believe that my therapist really understood what these drugs were doing to me, or where I was at with it all. And a lot of people say that to me when they come and work with me, that they want to work with someone that actually gets it. And so I think I've given that. I'm not going to give it to Ibiza that Ibiza's given me that, but to do that in Ibiza feels like a massive achievement.
It is a massive achievement.
To stop performing live, and just focused on the therapy stuff. Like, I could do that if I wanted to, and still be in touch with the scene and helping people in some way, and that means a lot, So I mean, I've been at the fun, most crazy party end of it all, with the best parties in the world, in the best places in the world, but I've also been locked in my house for weeks on end with bags of gear, unable to stop, and not even opening the front door unless the dealer's there. So I've seen and been at the worst end of it and the best end of it, and I know where I want to be now, and that's where we are today.
But you seem to have clarity. You seem to have clarity now, don't you? You've worked it out.
I always keep an eye on it. They say, if you spend enough time in the barber shop, you'll end up getting a haircut. And I do go out, but I have a kind of rule that if I find myself thinking, what am I doing here? Within 5 minutes, I've usually already left and gone home. I'm like, I don't need to be here right now. And it just depends on the vibe, what it feels like. So I've got no issue with anybody doing whatever they want, and I want everybody to have a great time. But if I'm not feeling comfortable, or there's something that I can see is going to turn into a car crash, of a mess of, the consequences without the fun bit, I'll probably be off, and I'm all right with that.
It is very common, because I come from an entertainment industry as well, and like media and so forth, that, people do, can get into addictions and so forth. But it's, I find when you do find your way out and then you want to help others, it gives you that kind of purpose, but also it's quite grounding that you've come to that place within your life that you do. We all need to replenish and nourish ourselves. We can't keep being on the burner, because it does eventually burn itself out, but that's incredible that you've discovered that, and that's kind of what you're advocating at the moment.
It is at the moment, and the thing about the music business and DJing, not everybody makes it, not everybody sustains it to a level which can support their lifestyle. It's, some people have a period of time where it goes quite well and then it tapers off, and I think it's important to recognise that some people take that well and other people don't take it so well, and they can get themselves into trouble, whether it's gone well or whether it's gone badly. That addiction doesn't only happen to people where things have gone wrong or where their career hasn't quite made it. It can happen to people when things are going right as well,
It's time immemorial. Rock stars and everyone, all this kind of stuff. Now DJs and everybody has goes. A lot of people go through that, don't they?
I guess, from what I understand, a lot of people say because of the pressure, they feel like they just need a release, or they just need something to, help with them. But obviously, with, overdoing it for so long, it's, going to affect people. But I think a lot of people go through that pressure, that constant anxiety, and then they need something just to kind of, relieve them.
I think so. I think it can be a lot of fun. Let's not pretend, that can be a lot of fun when you're in a position where you actually can't stop. You can't say no, and you can't stop doing what you're doing. It's a problem, and someone needs to do something about it. But look, life's a journey. Sometimes we're on a good upward trajectory, and other times we're going through some really challenging times. And I think, it's, again, with living here and living in Ibiza, it can be a really challenging place to live too. Sometimes the infrastructure is just non-existent. Sometimes people have no patience and tolerance. Sometimes people will tell you they're going to do something today or tomorrow, and it doesn't happen for weeks and months, and it can drive you absolutely nuts, But I'd rather be here than be sitting in a traffic jam in London, with loads of roadworks, and you can't drive more than 20 miles an hour anywhere, and everything costs 50 quid.
Tell me about it. Yeah. So Matthew, the whole reason for you being here today, young man, is to induct you into the Ibiza Hall of Fame, and I'm very proud to give you this honour, because we've known each other a very long time, and it's well deserved. So Matthew Bushwacka, welcome to Ibiza Hall of Fame.
Alan, you know what, thanks so much. I don't feel like I deserve this, because I don't really feel like, I think I've got imposter syndrome, but
No, you haven't, mate.
You totally deserve it.
The music, the DJing, the lot. You've got the full package, mate.
Thanks for persisting, because I was so resistant when you first asked me. I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I feel like an imposter,
No, you've done your time. You've done, you put the hours in. You made the music. You made people dance.
I'm still there.
And you're still doing it. It's fantastic, mate.
Thanks, thank you. Thanks a lot. It means a lot. Last time I've got given an award in dance music was actually by Ralph Moore, who used to run Music Magazine or work at Music Magazine, and that was me and Layo Best Breakthrough DJs, which was, I think, in 2001 maybe, so 25 years ago. So I've had to wait a long time for this. Thanks. I hang it around my neck like Run DMC or something.
So thank you for sharing your incredible story. It was lovely to meet you and to discover about your background and your history.
There's so many party stories that I could have touched on, and I just chose not to.
There's a long history of it, isn't it?
There was one. We were back at Lewis's house, and this is when we all played vinyl back then, and I did a DJ set at his house, and I played all the records at 45 instead of 33, and everyone danced at like double, triple speed for the whole set. Yeah.
No one realised.
Oh, they realised, but they just cracked on, and it was an interesting one. Yeah. That's a tame story, but
The juicy ones you can't always tell, can you?
or could do, but you know.
So that's all from us at Ibiza Hall of Fame. Remember to like, subscribe, and to follow us on all our platforms. Thank you and goodbye.